I'm a diagnosed psychopath. I'm not normal.
This individual doesn't need any introduction. For the last 20 years, he has been trying to refute Islam only to unknowingly prove it right at every single of his clownish attempts. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in his book, quite a number of the people of the book wish they could turn you people back to infidelity after ye have believed, from selfish envy, after the truth hath become manifest unto them. But forgive and overlook till Allah accomplish his purpose, for Allah hath power over all things. And it is an undeniable fact that while there are many religions in this world, Christian apologists seem to actively focus on Islam, some of them targeting Islam and Muslims more than they care to defend their own religion. So much so that the global apologetics industry spends a fortune in money and effort to turn Muslims to disbelief.
Beautiful production. And Islamic calligraphy. You can't mistake it. This is Islamic calligraphy. You know what it is? It is Christianity. In the guise of this, you give it to the Muslim, mashallah, he's got something. He's going to take it home. He's going to take it home and give it to student. My child said, look, we got something beautiful, nothing. Catching Muslim fish.
But one thing to remember is that for many of them, like David Wood, it's not about turning Muslims into Christians. It's about making Muslims leave Islam, even if it means becoming atheists. And to do that, such people won't hesitate to lie, slander, fabricate, and cross-dress.
I've managed to squeeze this 240 pounds of awesomeness into the only garment in my wife's dresser stretchy enough to hold it.
To reach such lows, one must walk years in the path of shaitan without stopping 1 second to reflect on what he's doing and saying. Deaf, dumb, and blind, unreasonable to the point of no return. And if only the lunacy stopped at cross-dressing, it would perhaps be possible to overlook it and listen to the arguments being made, as ridiculous as they may be. But far from it, it's almost like David makes a point to embarrass himself to be both a pawn and a means of entertainment for shaitan.
I'm Bobby Conway, the 1 Minute Apologist. Excited to have David Wood here with us in studio. You have been known to partake in eating some of the Quran. Should Christians do that?
Well, if you're an animal like me, I would say definitely.
Needless to say that the one who called himself an animal didn't shy away from the humiliation of doing that and even try to justify his actions, reaching such a low that many Muslims don't even want to bother dealing with him anymore.
I simply could not listen to him because if you haven't, then please don't. How does one put this? I mean, I have rarely come across somebody who is more vulgar, vile, foul-mouthed, noxious, repugnant, depraved excuse of a preacher. Whatever he is, David Wood, it is obvious to any person of faith, is not a man of God. Nobody who has an iota of humility in front of his Creator, nobody who wishes to claim to follow any prophet of God would ever be so vulgar as this particular individual. This person, David Wood, claims to be preaching the gospel of Jesus, and I don't know how to say this, like he is so uncouth, it is a shame. Wallahi, I'm embarrassed that he considers himself to be a follower of Jesus Christ. I'm embarrassed. David Wood does not need anyone else to refute him. His own manners is enough of a refutation of the character of this individual. Al-khabithatu lil-khabithina wal-khabithuna lil-khabithat. By their fruits ye shall know them. You have no reason to even worry about refuting the likes of David Wood because he is a refutation of himself.
Is there a worse insult from your enemy than disdain? And even though many beneficial Muslim brothers took off their precious time to refute every single non-argument to make sure that the ummah is protected from the vile traps of apologetics, it now seems obvious that his career has peaked and that his online presence now only serves as a proof for Islam. Indeed, it's hard to think of someone who has been refuted and exposed so many times over the years, and who keeps coming up with nonsense. Thank God, the cross he wears doesn't represent Jesus Christ, peace be upon him. For him wearing it would be a tremendous insult to the one of the best men God created. But as Muslims, we know very well that even such individuals have a purpose, and thanks to the word of Allah, we know that the bray of that book-carrying donkey is in fact a proof for Islam. The entire purpose he chose to give his life has been voided from meaning, as every word he uttered in the path of shaitan has been a refutation of himself. But in the verse we cited earlier also lies a warning to the ummah. If we know people of the book wish to make us disbelievers, it is essential that every single Muslim embraces the path of beneficial knowledge to avoid being fazed by the recycled tactics of the missionaries and Orientalists. There is no excuse in this age of mass literacy to not dive in the sea of Islamic knowledge and indulge in the strongest intellectual tradition in history, a tradition carried on the shoulders of scholars from all around the world who studied and who transmitted knowledge for the sake of Allah. Their heritage is like a fortress of steel that protects every Muslim from those who throw stones from a glass house.